Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Tuesday, the 14th of May, 2024. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed down 0.3% today to 7,727 points after a weak lead-in from Wall Street. Industrials and real estate stocks did worst, while consumer discretionary did best. It wasn't a massive day on the market ahead of tonight's budget. We can expect to see a bit more action tomorrow, I dare say. The banks were generally lower, though Commonwealth Bank ended flat. Rio led the big miners lower, dropping more than 1%. Transurban and QBE were among the worst of the large caps, while Woolies and Wesfarmers were among the best. Story number 2, plenty of bits and pieces going on in the share market today. Shares in lithium and nickel miners were on the rise ahead of the expected stimulus for critical minerals in the federal budget tonight. IGO, Liontown Resources and Chalice Mining were all higher, as was Piedmont Lithium. Shares in pathology group Helios rose after it said it had successfully refinanced and shrunk a debt facility. Hamish McLennan, chair of ARN Media, told investors that he still intends to push for a deal with rival Southern Cross Media, despite its buyout partner, Anchorage Partners, abandoning the offer. ARN share price is down over the past couple of sessions, though. Shares in GUD Holdings did well today after the company said it's on track to meet its full-year earnings guidance despite a weaker automotive market. And billionaire Kerry Stokes' Seven Group is continuing to buy up shares in Boral as it pushes for full control of the cement and asphalt group. Seven's stake in the group has pushed past 91% now. Story number 3, the federal court has provided its reasons for siding with Elon Musk and X over an e-safety directive to take down videos showing the stabbing of a Sydney bishop last month. It said the directive wasn't a reasonable demand from a regulator. Federal Court Justice Jeffrey Kennett ruled in a preliminary decision that there were powerful issues with e-safety's attempt to regulate the global internet. Kennett found it would likely be ignored or disparaged in other countries, even if Australian courts tried to enforce it. A global ban was not therefore a reasonable step as required by Australian law designed to tackle terrorist content, the judge concluded. E-safety's lawyers had argued a global ban was necessary on the 65 specified videos because Australians could circumvent X's initial block that was limited to this country using simple technical tools. Story number 4, a man who leaked classified military documents that revealed allegations Australian soldiers committed war crimes in Afghanistan will spend at least 2 years and 3 months behind bars. David McBride, who's 60, pleaded guilty to stealing classified material and leaking it to journalists, according to media reports. Justice David Mossop sentenced McBride to an aggregate 5 years and 8 months in prison for 3 charges in the ACT Supreme Court, with a non-parole period of 27 months. Justice Mossop said the former military's lawyers' actions were a gross breach of trust of his position as a lawyer, and there's a significant need to deter similar actions in the future. And story number 5, there was more bad news for Bonza employees today who were told they'd be stood down for at least another fortnight as administrators seek formal expressions of interest in the airline. There are media reports that a Vietnamese airline was interested but isn't anymore. Administrator Hall Chadwick said there are about 20 interested parties, though I'm not quite sure how interested they really are. The fortnight extension affects staff and passengers, meaning more customers will become what's known as a contingent creditor because they aren't going to get a refund on the tickets they bought. That's it for the afternoon report for Tuesday, the 14th of May, 2024. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, X, TikTok and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. The top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.